You are listening to Party Nerds Weekly.
What's going on, fam? Welcome everybody to the Party Nerds podcast. As you can see by our illustrious panel, live from via satellite, Jorge is producing this show via Telemundo from Colombia, South America.
Just here for a little bit. That's it. Just check it
Hold
out.
up, that's right.
Colombia this whole time?
That's
No.
right, my friend.
Holy shit, man.
No, just here for a week. That's it.
He's doing episodes of Igoro y la Flaca and then coming by to do ours. So,
And
you know,
Walter. Don't forget Walter.
Don't forget, and episodes of Cantinflas. So make sure you got your mustache ready to go. You know, all that good stuff. This for the Spanish speaking public that we have out here that watches the show. But today we wanted to get into, of course, probably going to be the best movie out box office wise this year, aside from Deadpool and Wolverine, because Dune 2 has now already reached $175 million worldwide in one weekend. Cinema has returned. And obviously, Ralphie has been taking his sleeping pills.
I've been napping. It's been the best sleep of my life.
And now I'm almost a little forewarned to review this thing because Ralphie only comes with us with the interest of Dune 1. And Haas has only watched Dune 2. This is gonna be great. This is a great show.
So you
got an
see?
emphasis on both sides.
Makes this
I
one
get to
person.
bounce back and forth. This is great.
One person.
I hate the way y'all watch movies, by the way. All right. But all right, so to get into this, I'll start at Dune 1. So Ralphie, you can actually chime in on this.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'm about to down.
So look, interesting enough. I mean, for one, this particular storyline was viewed as unadaptable, that you could not create this into a movie. It was created into a movie in the 1980s. Sting was in it. Kyle MacLachlan was in it. Virginia Madsen, Sean Young, a lot of 80s actors. Some people you probably wouldn't even be able to name. But Denis Villeneuve has taken it to leaps and bounds, and every critic agrees at how great this shit is. And it's something about his movies, man. He's done Arrival. He did Blade Runner 2049. He did Sicario.
That's the only one you got.
My man's doing good work. I know you like Sicario.
Yeah, I love Sicario.
You like Sicario.
Good film.
You love Sicario. But interesting enough, we put this lovely question out to everybody out there in IG, and I think we got obliterated by calling it basically, is this the adaptation? Could it be the best sci-fi epic ever? And then people basically came out the woodwork to DDT us and fucking throw us against the rope. I think we got chair bombed from the top rope at least 17,000 times. Yeah, look, if it was one particular line that I figured would trigger you, that was the only way I could go, and it turned out to be completely right. But to talk about this movie, and even just to talk about the last, Paul Atreides as a prophetic character, kind of like a Messiah character. Of course, if we're talking about the first movie, the entire movie is about the betrayal of the Atreides family by the Harkonnen. And you see that because you only see the Harkonnen and the Atreides, but you come to find out in Dune 2 that there was more elaborate scheme from people who weren't even in the first movie. So they did that on purpose. They made sure that certain people weren't in Dune 1 for people who only watch Dune 1, and put them in Dune 2 for people who only watch Dune 2.
So you mean to tell me there was 2 hours and 47 seconds, 2 hours, 47 minutes and 57 seconds that I watched just for you to tell me that there's more families than just two people?
That there is multiple houses. Nope, Charnel has joined the chat. Dune 2 was flames, a far cry from Dune film in the 1980s. Sir, I have to disagree with you. I thought the cheese was that much more perfect in the 80s, because the only way to do that with the special effects and the makeup that they had in that 80s movie was fantastic. So I ask you, Ralph, what did you think of Dune 1 other than the fact that you saw your eyelids the entire show?
Well, the thing is actually, I'll go ahead and take it. I actually I took a Red Bull. I was up. I watched it, and through the graces of God, I made it through. And I can say it wasn't for me because of certain things that I just wasn't really appreciative. Yes, was it stunningly beautiful to watch on a nice, 1080p HD TV? Beautiful, 4K quality, whatever you Sony Vizio, whatever you got. But the storyline is just not it for me. It's just, it doesn't really capture me. And then here's another thing. Jay, I can't do the foreshadowing. There's way too many foreshadowing that was just happening to the upteenth degree that I just was like, you know what?
What's wrong with that?
It's too much. Too much. He's in a pit. And he's getting a whole bunch of dust sand particles in his eyes. He's going to turn blue. Uh-oh, watch out. Zendaya again. Oh, Zendaya again. Oh, Zendaya got blood on the hands. Oh, here it comes all of a sudden. Here's the sand people. Oh, it's a big ass worm. There was way too much things happening where I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna make it. Where are we at? 2 hours and 15? I got 30 minutes left.
Oh my God. Is that how you felt?
Well, watching part 2?
Is that how you felt watching part 2?
This is how I feel about the movie. The movie is visually stunning.
Visually?
It is a good film. Like, I think it's a really good film. But I'm with Ralphie. Like, the shit don't really interest me. But I watched it. And I know what a good film is. It's a good film.
Okay.
I'm probably just going to watch part 1 just so I can connect the dots more. But, I mean, it's just not, I'm just not really interested in that universe. Like, It's like a combination. It's like many combinations of, like, Star Wars and Mad Max and Halo.
Ooh.
And it's like, it's a weird combination, which makes it interesting a little
How
bit.
did you make it into Halo?
Let's just say I'm not a fan, but it's a really good film.
There you go.
I know what a really good film is.
Okay.
So I know what a good film is. But
you can give it a particular balance.
Either.
All right. So in order to understand the entire setup for Dune 2, as visually striking as both films are, you have to understand what the story is. I think that's why people have been proclaimed this to be unadaptable. But for the most part, there's multiple characters at play.
There is.
Of course, there's the multiple houses. So you have House Harkonnen, who basically, if you want to say, okay, they're the bad guy, House Harkonnen. Right. House Atreides, the good guys. Mm-hmm. And then the shadow figure that you don't see in Dune 1 is House Corrino, which is the Emperor. All right, played by Christopher Walken, and his daughter is the Princess Urulan. You know what I'm saying? Who what's old girl from Yelena from Black Widow? I forget what the actress name is.
I'm not gonna remember that.
Right. So
we know what you're talking about.
I you know what actress I'm talking about. So those shadow figures were not sent into this first movie. The one thing that basically got brought out was the fact that the Emperor was threatened by the Atreides family. So much so, House Harkonnen already had Arrakis, and then pretty much was like, the only way I can set this up correctly is that I got to tell House Harkonnen to pull out of Arrakis. And then I'm going to gift my cousin, Leto Atreides, with Arrakis and be like, the spice mines are now yours. You take it and do what you want with it. That's the setup. And then basically it's kind of like, okay, if you control the spice, which basically makes them mad money, just think of it like this. If it was the Gulf War and the United States really wanted fucking oil, let me just give it to a friend of ours. We'll go down there together and we're gonna plot this land as much as we want to, and we'll steal all the oil we can in order to make riches for our nations. You know, so it's almost in that kind of like allegory. But the thing is, it went like this. Okay, the Atreides go down there. By the time they get down there, they're like, we only got fucking 4 spice mines, like, so only 4 barrels. What happened? Oh, the Harkonnen sabotaged everything before you fucking left. Okay, what the fuck we got to work with? Nothing. Okay, by the time my son gets in his bedroom, he's damn near assassinated. What the fuck is going on? And then all of a sudden, the Harkonnen really come down. But the thing is, there was an additional army that was with the Harkonnen. The Emperor gave the Harkonnen his army on top of theirs so they could just wipe out the Atreides family. So that's what made it all too suspicious that the Emperor was like, yeah, you can take my army, go to just annihilate them motherfuckers. And then Arrakis is yours. So Harkonnen be able to take over Arrakis. So that's the setup for all that happened. And of course, Leto dies. Paul and his mom escape, join the Fremen, and then that continues going into part 2. Right? All that foreshadowing turns into the Messiah complex. All right. So Paul's mom is like a witch. He was born from like this brood of fucking witches. The lady that fucking tested him in the first movie, they're all a particular bloodline. Not only are they witches and do they like predict shit and are damn near psychics, but they're also concubines. They've been fucking every house in space for eons in order to have a prophetic Messiah character finally pop up one day, born to somebody's house that basically belongs to them. That's how it is in the books. In the books, the Lady Jessica and the Reverend Mother and all those people, they are witches, and they literally are all in this plotting ass fucking scheme in order to fuck their way into having the baby that is going to reach above us all. And lead us.
The not once did I get that. What I got was an angry grandmother. I felt like she was just so mean. Like, why are you so mean like this? That's
because
what I got. You know,
this shit for years. You see how old that lady is? She was like, if y'all don't get to these houses and get the fucking, it's not going to work for us.
Like, she had the plastic wrapping on the couch.
So this is the thing. This is where all this shit gets set up, and then you come to find out later on in Dune 2, Lady Jessica was like the illest. It wasn't even the fact that the Emperor fucking plotted to wipe out the Atreides family. Lady Jessica is a Harkonnen.
Wow.
So Paul's mama was a Harkonnen the whole time, trying to have him rise to the top. And then she was telling Reverend Mother, it was like, you picked the wrong side. And then Reverend Mother was like, bitch, there is no sides. As long as we got one of these motherfuckers, we winning.
Wait, weren't they cousins?
Who?
The Harkonnen, and weren't they some type of family? Like,
look, Fade that he fought at the end of the movie, Paul and Fade are cousins. Yes, they're first cousins. He had to shank his first cousin in order to basically control Arrakis, take over the Emperor's plot, and I'm gonna take the hand of your daughter, so I don't have to snipe your ass.
Different.
Poor Chani. Zendaya's character.
Different.
And look, if they go into the next book, Chani, it's even worse for Chani. So in the books, you know, concubines are a thing. You can just have a betrothment of hoes. So he marries Princess Uralan, you know what I'm saying, basically takes her hand at the end of that movie. And he was like, you can choose your concubine. You could be married. You have to have a child by this woman. But they were trying to make a play on how monarchies work. And they basically was like, you can have a concubine too. How many hoes you want? And he was like, no, I need my hoe from Arrakis. I need Chani. So he decides to have the princess, and he decides to have Chani as his concubine.
Take my clap back.
I'm just saying, this is how it works. This is how that movie kind of like circulates. So it's very interesting. So if there's any characters that you want, and no, they didn't like bring up a lot of like the character traits of a lot of them. Like basically, Gurney Halleck, Josh Brolin's character. Glow Raven, Dave Bautista's character. Them two in the books. Josh Brolin's character, who was a part of the Atreides clan, used to be a slave in Harkonnen, in House Harkonnen. So they had this motherfucker working the fields and building like the coal mines and everything like that as a little kid, and they brought him up as an adult. He was a slave.
See, this. Also, I remember I threw like different movies and stuff in different, like even through Halo in there. I throw that Spartacus show from Stars in there too. That those vibes.
Oh, because I said slaves and concubines.
We're talking for a while, so I didn't want to interrupt. But but that also it's also that too. And sprinkle in a little gladiator, because what happens with the all these damn one-on-one fights and shit. But
it's true.
Yeah, so it's like I said, like the premise is good. I have to watch part 1 to see if I'm completely interested in the franchise moving forward.
Do you have enough time?
It's entertaining. It's good. I don't really care for everybody yet.
It's okay. Some of them died,
but I did
Jason Momoa.
But I did the last fight. I appreciated. I appreciated how that went down
between Fate and Paul.
Yeah,
Fate and Paul.
I'm glad it's the way it went down too, because
that motherfucker's a nutcase.
Exactly, and to watch Batista go down, that was pretty cool too.
You gotta get to number 1.
Batista. Yeah, Batista. Look. Just so happens that Thanos ended up killing Drax at the end anyway. That's just anyway. Drax has always wanted to kill Thanos and couldn't even do it in Dune.
And this was his best chance to do it.
This is his best chance to do it, and he fucking do it. But can we agree? Can we agree that every crew should have a man like Stilgar, that believes in you? He believes. You are the Lisan al-Jak. Lisan al-Jak.
You're the one. My boy sneezed.
It's like he's gonna defy us. Don't worry about that. But that's okay. That's what he does. That's what the Lisan al guy does. Yeah. Anything that he did. No, that's what he does. That's the prophecy.
It is.
What was the thing with him kissing his uncle though?
You talking about a fade?
Well, yeah. What was that about?
What?
Okay, in the books, you talking about Baron Harkonnen and Fade?
Yeah, they're like embracing, like they.
Well, this is the
I was
thing.
like, oh, that's probably just like a family.
Fade and like, Baron Harkonnen have a very weird relationship.
Yeah, what is that about?
So he knows that he's the only one that he feels he feels like his uncle is the only person that understands him.
Right.
But Baron has a thing for Fade. He gets turned on by how psychotic he is.
Yeah, that was like because when he had that arena fight, with all that, like he was just like, where is he? And it was just like getting like it was.
He in the books he gets turned on by his fucking gladiator accolades and everything like that. He likes how sadistic he is. He loves how fucking psychotic he is. And you know what? And the thing is, like Baron Harkonnen is like into weird shit. The reason that he can float and the reason that he can obtain, like he almost died in Dune 1. Right after Leto Atreides bit like that poison dart killed everybody in the room, but Baron Harkonnen was sitting in the corner and shit.
Like so spider running.
Baron Harkonnen takes poisons just to fuck with himself, just so he can be ready for shit. So he knows he's going to get poisoned one day. So he just continues to start taking small doses of poisons, and it really like fucks up his face. It makes him all grotesque and shit. And he even starts doing genetic engineering on himself to the point where he got that shit in his back. That causes him to float. He tries to like do all this shit in order to prevent like any type of catastrophe that happens within him and his family to actually annihilate him. Wow. Little did they know he'd be laying on the steps somewhere and fucking Paul was just gonna walk up on him and just shank him in the neck.
Stone cold.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And look, everybody just watched them do it. The Emperor was sitting there, Fade was sitting there. It like everybody, could you move to the side real quick? Could everybody part? I gotta go up here and just shank homeboy in his neck real quick.
Yeah.
Like there was no challenge whatsoever. It'd be like just yip.
It's happening right now.
Yeah, that's how they were in the crowd. They was like, just go watch homeboy get shanked. And then by the way, I gotta go back out and fight. I'll see y'all later. Because that's how it was in Dune 2. You ain't see that part. Yo, he shanks him. And then it was like, I got to go back out there with my army. I'll see y'all later. Okay.
He just walking off. He just...
Yeah, he just walked off. Like the Emperor's guards are all standing in front of him. They could throw down with him at any moment, but Paul just walks out
like a thug.
Yeah, straight up like a thug.
Hmm.
So I mean, initially, I'm thinking to myself like y'all, like this might not go as well as people think. Dune 1 was like, okay, if they're gonna have like this slow build to this, it's not gonna work. By the time we get to Dune 2, we're like, okay, shit is starting to connect. And now they're talking about doing like the director's like, I don't know if I should do a third one, but if they do a third one, it's gonna get weird.
Why is that?
Because now that the books are, it's 6 novels. We would only go into the second novel if we go into the third movie. It gets beyond weird. It goes into Children of fucking Dune. Like book 2 is 12 years as Paul Atreides is ruler of the Emperor for 12 years. And the sister that's been in the womb the entire time is born and is like way more prophetic than he is.
Because it was supposed to be a girl. That's what the
that's what they were saying.
Said.
So like they said that the prophet was supposed to be a woman the entire time. Paul happens to show all the traits of the prophetic character that they wanted to rise up against them. Krishnak, whatever the fuck they called it, Krishnak Hajarex or whatever the hell it was. But it was supposed to be a girl. So when Lady Jessica's pregnant for that second time, the fucking baby's in embryo talking to its mom.
Yeah.
Like in full conversation, by the way. Yeah, it definitely gets weird.
So let's get back to this the question that drew everybody into the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's very disrespectful to the genre, to the sci-fi genre.
Why is it disrespectful?
It's disrespectful. Number one, we talk
the way that Star Wars fans hate Star Wars.
We're talking about the greatest, and number one, the greatest. If anything is considered to be the greatest, it should be the first Star Wars. Number one,
I said epic. So Star Wars is a franchise.
No. Well, I'm just as a franchise. That's one thing, but I'm talking about as just a particular movie. The first Star Wars blew people's minds away, right?
You talking about Star Wars?
It created this big giant fandom where people started to cosplay as these characters. They beloved the characters were beloved, and it that type of fandom spread it out to other mediums, right? Other franchises.
The commercialization of Star Wars, I will give you that.
It's like the Godfather of all this shit.
Talk about it.
So we can't sit there. There's no universe in the multiverse that Dune.
Oh, there's somewhere in the multiverse.
No,
the greatest.
Where people that have sense.
We're not doing that.
Wow. No.
We're not doing that.
We're
not going to disrespect Star Wars like that in some movies that came after. Like, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that in a world.
There's some people that might think Alien is the best sci-fi franchise of all time.
Listen, but Alien can have that they can have a seat at the table because that sci-fi horror
Predator
is major.
You better put Predator there.
Predator, like
you better put Predator.
That was they created a whole nother genre into sci-fi horror. You took sci-fi, brought the horror element into it, and it's iconic.
Star Trek.
My question is, are we going to be talking about Dune a decade from now, 2 decades from now? Like, I don't see it. I wasn't blown away by it. It's a good film, but I wasn't blown away by it.
Okay.
First time I seen Star Wars, I was blown away by it.
And which Star Wars did you see first?
Star Wars.
You saw the first Star Wars first?
New Hope.
I'm in order when I was a kid.
I mean, Return of the Jedi was my first Star Wars movie.
Yeah, well, Return of the Jedi is the shit.
1984.
The Empire is the shit too. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You see how we're starting to say which one's the shit and which blah blah blah.
I'm saying the first one I watched.
That my question is, are we going to be talking about Dune like that decade from now, 3 decades from now? No. Like I can literally watch this movie and tell you we're not.
Dune gets into the concubines and the hoes,
and
Star Wars don't do that.
Listen, I'm all for the pimp shit. All right, I'm a motherfucking single middle-aged man. I'm cool with the pimp shit. Bring the pimp shit on.
Bring the pimp shit on.
We're talking about this shit 30 years from now, bro.
There you go. See, Ralphie, stay out of this. The pimp shit is going to continue.
So where I would like to put the Dune franchise so far, just by only watching one movie, but where I want to, it's like they're creating a franchise, and not that they're the same thing, and not that they're actually like, you can't really, I don't know if you could put them in the same category, but you could, because it's like a
apocalyptic.
Yeah, post-apocalyptic.
Not really.
Type of,
it's just worlds.
It's that type of world. It's that type of world.
No, it's not. It's a sand place. It's a bunch of sand
motherfuckers. It's like a post-apocalyptic world. What you talking about? It's
a sand planet.
All right, whatever.
They never had fucking plant life.
This is the type of franchise. I think Dune's going to be. Right? It's going to have short legs. Right? And it's going to fall into those Hunger Games type shit.
No.
What was the other ones that were like Hunger Games that had like kids trying to be the rebellion?
Divergent.
Maze Runner.
The Divergent.
Yeah, Maze Runner. And what was the other one?
Was it Divergent?
Divergent. That's going to fall in that category of movies.
No way.
Yes, I think so. Because I can feel it.
I'll take it an extra step. It's in the Twilight series. How about that?
Ooh, God,
Twilight. Not even sci-fi. We're talking about
there's love. They have blue eyes. They told you everything.
Listen,
stop it.
But
Get out of here.
I think, to be honest with you, I think it's that type of franchise where it's just going to be like you got to watch it in its period, right? This 5-6 year. Let's give it 5 years, right?
Okay. Why has it done so well?
Why is what?
Why has the movie done so well?
Because people have unlocked a new mantra.
I said it's a good film. Like I didn't say I didn't like the movie. Like I liked it. Yeah. So I know it's a good film.
You think it'll continue to do well?
It should.
Or is this just like going? This is a one-off.
It's still entertaining.
So there might be.
But
there might be
I don't think people. So for it to be on a level like Star Wars or shit like that, like you gotta like really love this shit. Right. Like you gotta really love it. And I don't think people are gonna. I don't think they, as a whole, people are just gonna love this shit and just like fucking ride with the shit and want to. Like I don't.
These motherfuckers riding around on sandworms right now.
Stop. Just stop. All right. This shit is only going to last. It's going to only go last its run. It's going to last when it comes back out through digital, and then after that, people are not really going to sweat it till the next one comes out.
Like, or until James says something.
If it even happens.
Yeah. Look at it. Yeah. Listen, if it was that good, they would find a way to do another one out. So it wouldn't even be.
I'm pretty sure if it does well money wise, they'll find a way.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like it wouldn't be no question. When we're watching some of these other franchises, we already know something. We're gonna know something's coming out. Like they're not gonna be like, well, I don't know if something's gonna come out. Like, nah, we know if it's good enough.
Do you think that this is kind of like a protest ticket for everybody to buy because they don't want to go see Marvel movies, so they're trying to put their money behind something else?
That's actually a good logic.
I mean, but there's nothing wrong with that because we don't have to. We shouldn't just be focused in on just Marvel movies or DC movies or Star Wars.
Well, we know you don't support them because you bootleg everything Black Order.
No, I just bootleg the stuff I don't go to the movies for.
That's a lot of shit.
It's not a lot of shit. I don't watch a lot of
blast like this.
But I had to watch this movie for the show, so I didn't have time to go to the movies. I did not have time, so I watched this motherfucker at home.
And you couldn't share the link with Ralphie, by the way.
Well, I didn't realize he just watched. Like it was kind of hard to understand in the chat anyway, because he was like, "Yeah, part one." I'm like, "All right, cool." Like,
yeah, I didn't find that out till later. I felt that way,
but
too. I thought you watched both.
I thought he already watched part two already, and he was like, "Yeah, I watched part one too." And I thought it was like on me that I didn't watch.
That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought.
But this motherfucker didn't watch the movie at all. I don't even know.
He didn't watch shit.
Like, why are you here?
I'm here because they love me. I'm here because they love me.
But yo, check this out, though. But facts, check this shit out. And this goes to what I'm saying. This motherfucker watched part one, had no fucking intentions of watching part two.
He didn't know, and he's not going to watch it. He's not
going
going to
watch part 2. So this is what I'm saying. Like, he's just one person, but I'm sure there's a lot like.
Oh, this is a lot of people that watched Dune 1 and was like, yeah, I'm not watching Dune 2.
Yeah. So yeah, they could be good. They could be good films, but they're not good. We're not going to be talking about this franchise like years from now, bro. Like, it's just not going to. Like, and there's no disrespect to people that really probably actually love the shit. It's not enough of y'all to change my.
There was enough. There was enough of us this weekend.
Magical.
All right. This is the portion of the program where we get into these comments where we're about to get fucking blasted. I'm pretty sure that the question of the day got obliterated because people wanted to put their perspectives out on Star Wars, Predator, Alien, Star Trek, and maybe even Event Horizon. So I'm pretty sure that there's people out there that are talking
here with y'all, and we had nothing to do with this fucking title.
Yeah, we had nothing to do with this at all.
Because I'm
Jorge
right now.
If you got the opportunity, put these things up.
Me and Ralphie
we asked, is Dune the best sci-fi epic of all time? Here we go.
Fuck no.
Yo, man, come on, man.
All right.
Next one.
That's it. That's the show.
Nope.
All right.
I heard the questions got downright racist.
There we go. Ready?
That's good. Fuck it.
No.
Yeah.
They just no.
All right. Next one.
Star Wars. Y'all don't look. Star Wars fans don't even like Star Wars. I don't even know why y'all arguing that shit,
bro. But everybody knows what the greatest.
Fuck with it.
Yeah. All right.
There you go.
Nope. Star Wars still on top.
Star Wars for the win. Star Wars for the win.
All right, here we go.
I didn't even watch it yet, and it's a yes.
He's
Andre. You didn't even watch it, and it's a yes. It's the best epic.
He's joking.
He's joking because he's laughing at the end. All right, maybe.
Here we go.
It's up there. See, there's a believer. There is
one out of 6 people. One out of
him and Andre are believers.
There we go.
Andre's fucking with y'all.
I did not think the first film was a snooze fest at all. Thank you, sir, Ralphie. Okay,
but he also didn't say it was the best sci-fi film of all time either.
That's a thumbs up.
That's not a win.
That's a thumbs up. He got hopes.
All right, here we go.
The novels are said to have greatly influenced Star Wars, and the comparisons are obvious. But what Denis Villeneuve did with these films was nothing short of beautiful. They are a true, respectful representation of the source material, and I wish we saw more creators choose to do the same. Jake,
does that answer the fucking question, though?
Look, all right. I know where Jorge's going with this one because he put it in the chat that basically people are putting in the comparison. They're saying that George Lucas stole the original bylines of Dune to make Star Wars. Tatooine, Arrakis, prophetic character Luke Skywalker, prophetic character Paul Atreides.
Who executed better?
He did it better.
Who executed better?
All right,
you made it a hot line. I made it a hot song.
I don't care. I compare it to Jay-Z taking Biggie's rhymes and throwing them in his songs. I don't care. It sounds good.
Who did that?
I don't care.
It always was. The books as well are phenomenal. Okay.
So he maybe it's the best books of all time.
No. What they're basically saying is the best adaptation strictly from the books, and I do believe that. Yes.
All right, that still doesn't answer the question though. So okay. He answered a whole different.
Still hard to follow, but it was awesome nonetheless. We got a believer.
Yeah, it was awesome. They're not answering the fucking question. The question is it the best sci-fi fucking film?
Exactly.
I didn't say it was. Oh damn! I watched the first one and was disappointed. The pacing and lack of explanation for various points, rituals, and practices in the movie made me feel lost. I watched it on a flight back from overseas and was just like, that was it? It left me with so many questions. It was confusing and added too many details without explanation. I'm sure people that read the book were excited. Good for them. And then Rob from New York says, Well, that makes sense since the first one was only part one and was never meant to explain anything. If you watch part 2, many of your questions are probably answered. This is the challenge of making a Dune movie. The books are so incredibly dense. Many people thought it was impossible to portray on film, but I think what we have been given are a recipe to the making of one of the best sci-fi franchises ever made.
And here's the key word, facts. Recipe. He didn't say that's
recipe.
Recipe.
He's saying if they continue to shit,
I can have a recipe to some motherfucking to some baked macaroni.
Sofrito.
Is it the right recipe though? That shit can turn out like shit.
Ooh. Yep.
It's working in our favor. It tastes delicious right now.
All right, nice.
Nothing pisses me off more than bad macaroni and cheese.
If anyone has watched Jodorowsky's Dune on Mac, you'll see how this movie pretty much fed other sci-fi movies. Just amazing. You can find Jodorowsky's Dune streaming on Max. Now that's the one from the 80s.
That's the one.
That's the one with Sting as Fade Rotha. That's the one with Paul Atreides as Kyle MacLachlan. That's the one with Sean Young as Chani. That's the one with Virginia Madsen as Princess Overline. And to be honest, it definitely encapsulates like an 80s sci-fi movie. It's all makeup. There's no CGI. There's just background and everything like that. Like the worms look ridiculously stupid, but it's fine. It's puppetry, you know.
And
so I do agree. It's the just right amount of cheese for an 80s sci-fi flick.
This is your Messiah.
Yeah. If you didn't like the first movie, you won't like this one either. It's a fucking masterpiece, though. Best sci-fi movie ever. Look at these people.
Here they come. Here they
come.
Oh, Lord,
they are rounding up the rear.
Oh, wow.
Look.
All right, here we go.
See, Ralphie, see what you missed up? No. Why is there even a comparison?
Talk about it.
Let it live on its own as it is. It's worthy of praise, but not to our pressure for such lofty labels. All of the sci-fi greats deserve their praises. This one has its own great moments of truth, and that's where it stands. He's still a believer.
Yeah,
he's still a believer.
He's in the gray area. He's
in the gray area.
He's not gonna say yes, but
great.
he's not gonna say no.
I'm giving it to him. He got it.
No, we're not doing that.
No.
So we're gonna ignore Star Wars, Star Trek.
Hello.
Back, Fifth Element, Blade Runner, and more. No, it's a great movie, but not even top 15.
15? And you put Fifth Element? He
the real ones have
Fifth Element in front of this?
The real ones have entered the chat.
Talk about it.
Fifth Element.
Talk about it. Fifth Element.
Y'all silly question. It did that decades ago. Boom!
You really that irked my spirits. That irked my spirits.
Oh man, here we go.
I'm not even gonna come in.
It needs one more movie. Whoa! If it does pause. It needs one more.
Are we talking about? Isn't the question in particular of this film?
Is it the greatest sci-fi epic of all time?
Would we need another film to answer the question? Is this the best sci-fi film of all time? If we need another film, this is bullshit. Nobody's paying fucking attention. This ain't the greatest film.
Oh
ever.
my god, this is great.
All right, we got one more. Here we go.
Oh, that's it. That cash grab is awful. Poorly cast and poorly executed. Hell, the second installment in this cash grab ends with Zendaya, a talentless hack, about to hop on a giant worm. Then they roll the credits. What a fine ending to superficial slop. Me, when I'm wrong, did a sandworm fuck your mom or something?
Oh my god!
You sound absolutely offended by these films.
Yo, this motherfucker came at the biracial princess Zendaya. That's crazy.
Yo, he said that it got bad. Like motherfuckers was actually like getting real bad at this.
That's wild as fuck. But
wow.
Yeah, listen, man. We gonna put this shit to bed. All right. People think we're fucking trolling this shit.
All right. The question was, has Dune cemented itself as the greatest sci-fi epic of all time? It didn't say film. It's more so towards the franchise.
No,
especially no. There's no way.
Fifth Element, one movie.
We're not talking about this. It's going to be like the 80s film. That shit's stuck in the 80s, and this shit's going to be stuck in the 2020s.
I don't know
It's gonna be
about all
stuck.
It's Fifth Element.
We're
That-
not
that
watching
right
this
there.
shit 20 years from now, yo.
But I'm still
I'm
watching
watching
Fifth Element.
I'm definitely watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
I still watch Fifth
Some
Element.
shit, some
To
shit
this
just
day.
lasts. Some
To
shit
this
lasts.
day.
This ain't the shit that's gonna last.
To this day. Love that movie.
All right, so that's our show. Feel free to check us out at the Party Nerds every single Monday night at 9 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X,
I need Dune
wherever you're getting your streaming done. Twitch, get it all done. All right, so being as how Ralph is going to watch Dune 2, it's ready for him to take
No,
this
he's
nap.
not.
Hey,
I
there
can't
you go,
believe-
buddy. There
Yo,
you
come
go,
on,
buddy.
man. Dude, you sleepy motherfuckers. Y'all need to stop. So for everybody out there that has watched Dune 2 and realized how epic it was, Haas and Ralph are going to take a nap now. So for all of us, to all of you, Party Nerds, go.